What up, Crumb? Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show number 592. Crumb. And audio is working, so that's good. Normally starts at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, but there's a 20-minute video presentation webinar by Ramsey Solutions on the new version of Every Dollar. As I say sometimes, dollar. You're watching me on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And for my financial content, just have to scroll down past the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlists, and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. And I've already fixed that. That I've added that space in there. I just didn't refresh this page after I did that. Answering your financial questions. That's the 8 p.m. stream that I do some days. Especially when I can't do the morning show after the Ramsey show is over. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs, including probably one of my favorites, How to Do the Babies, Deb's Right. And that talks about all the dumb ways that people do it incorrectly. People love to do it wrong and say they're following the Ramsey advice when they are not. Market report, and we're down today. And I looked at this earlier, and basically it blames the outlook for another rate cut. We just got one last week, and now you want to be assured of another one already? Dumb. I mean, and this is just, of course, guesses why it's down. People don't know 100% for sure what everybody's or even the average person's reason is for selling instead of buying. They don't know. Let's see what the rest of the planet looks like. Everything down in Europe and Asia too. Is that because of our Fed not lowering the interest rate again after they did last week, and they're not planning to do it again apparently so soon? Is Europe and Asia, is that why they're down too? People need to quit being dumb. Currencies, US dollar up over the euro, up over the Japanese yen, up over the British pound, love, up over the Canadian dollar, and up over the Australian dollar, mate. And the reason, not the reason why, but it generally happens when it's a bad market day. The US dollar is generally tops over all the rest of the countries, or at least the ones mentioned here. It doesn't say what it's who are we missing? We got the euro, we got the Japanese yen, we got the British pound, the Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar. Who else are we missing? Russia. What is I forget what their money is called, or one of their money thing. Rubles? Something like that. Don't know. Alrighty, got sidetracked. Again, Accenture today will be reporting. Oh, they already reported. Oh, let's check it out anyway. And down, so I'm assuming they didn't have good. Let's see. Oh no, they beat revenue estimates. Plans $865 million restructuring amid AI shift. Okay, and the outlook. Oh, the outlook is light amid lower U.S. spending, so that's probably why. But I mean, it happens too where there'll be a company will beat the estimates, the revenue estimates that they thought it was going to be, and then they look ahead their projections for how they're going to do. They always say include that in the earnings report as well. And even if they think they're going to make more money, even if they have a great report, overall, sometimes it still goes down because people are just nutty. There's plenty of different reasons why people do some stuff. Also, looked a little bit at this. They have a new beta version of the finance page, and maybe I'm old, don't like it. I'm fine with the black, I guess background. I guess that would be black background here. But don't like the, I mean, you could change that, but not really the order. But so this is still the same up near the top there. And then the latest updates, there's multiple. And then it just gives a market summary. And then here's your articles without saying these are different news stories. I can't remember what it says now for those. It may not say anything on the top. I can't remember, but it seems like to me it was delineated somehow. And it doesn't have it doesn't have a lot of them. Doesn't have as many of them. Only has 3 or 4. There's your upcoming earnings. Oh, more news stories. So there we go. So you have actually the link and for a little nicer looking link, I guess, to the stories instead, and most active stocks and stuff like that. So it's basically the same content. I do not, however, see the most followed single stocks on the Google. So might be missing that. Yeah, I'm not seeing where that is. That might be under research. What's going on with markets today? Well, here's our best guess. Why? I don't know. This is just given the facts of it, not trying to guess why. And there you go. Downturn attribute weakness in the AI sector. And that weakness wasn't there last week when it went up to a new high, or earlier this week rather. Jobless claims data. I don't think a new job report had come out since it went up to a new high either. So these are just guesses probably. All right. Does the old one, let's see if the old one has a research tab on it. It does not. Maybe you can hit that from here, though. Let's see. No. Maybe in here? No. All right. So, I mean, I could live with it, I guess, if it changes to permanently that. But otherwise, we'll sit here. See, this is what I was talking about that is missing. Apple up 0.52%, 0.5% on a little bit over 0.5%. Everything else down here in the top 6 stocks most followed on the Google. Let's see what the headlines are. Starbucks announces significant store closures and layoffs. Stock market today, fall amid sharp GDP expansion, jobless claims deal. Trump admin reunites with Elon Musk in pursuit of AI dominance benefit of the country. Okay, well, sometimes you got to put aside your differences and make money and run a country. The U.S. economy grew at 3.8% rate in the second quarter, significantly stronger than previously reported. And so, you see, if you can't report the right number and constantly have to revise it, Why not just wait an extra month before you announce it? Everything will be fine if you just wait and don't prematurely announce the numbers and then have to revise them. Iron Hill Brewery close all locations immediately and file for bankruptcy. Okay. It's not fun for them. Astra, I don't know what that is. Woke up one recent morning and chose violence. All right. That's not advised. Owners of Radio Shack and Pier 1 Imports accused by SEC of operating $112 million Ponzi scheme. Oh, that's fun. American Airlines passenger duct taped to seat for attacking flight attendant, threatening crew during bizarre mid-air outburst. Feds. It just says, is that who reported it? I don't know. Weird phrasing here on this. It is the New York Post, though, so I guess we can give it a break here. So is that in the manual? If somebody attacks somebody, you just get the duct tape out and duct tape them to the seat. What if they got to go to the bathroom? So obviously it's not, not a foolproof plan there. Meet the people who eat 100-year-old military rations. All right. I mean, when do they actually expire? Don't know. NVIDIA. Oh, look, NVIDIA's up 1.14%. All righty. So, and that's not, of course, going to save your entire NASDAQ, but look at that. It's gone up even in the time that we've just been talking about the market today. It was wasn't it at 0.6 something down when we started? I think something like that. Let's look at some questions. Actually, let's look at some comments on questions. I did this one yesterday. Or was it last night? Last night. Wednesday, was it? No, I think I did an after show yesterday. Yeah, I did an after show yesterday. And so it was yesterday morning that we talked about it. 26 years old, still working just started working New York City public school teacher, makes $70K. Taking home $3,900 a month. New York City, living with mommy and daddy, and basically trying to do everything all at the same time. $5,000 in credit card debt. Master's degree, of course. And so has all the student loans. No student loans. Sorry about that. Live in parents' house rent free. Has a WRX, and they paid for that car for him as well. So at 26, it might be time to start moving out. But the problem is, 70K, you are not going to buy a house probably for many years while you save in New York City. So I was just curious. I thought about this last night and decided to do it today because there's not that many comments, 11 comments. I just wanted to see what people said, if anybody said like some of the same things I did, and how many people said that, oh, you're just all right. Oh, but also the guy was, just trying to do, like most people, trying to do everything all at once, wants to pay off the debt and also invest, and also wants to travel in the near future to other countries and spend a lot of money on other crap as well. And so just wants to do everything all at the same time. And so I was just curious about what other people said. And I have not looked at this before. So let's see if I missed anything important here. Gain independence and bring people over, etc. And of course, I talked about Mr. Ramsey. And Mr. Ramsey likes it if adults do not live with mommy and daddy anymore. Because this person easily could have no idea how much an electricity bill is, that kind of thing. Not gonna lie, it hurts seeing my people my age with 100K plus saved or buying houses. Meanwhile, I just started my first big boy job. Yeah, that's well, that's how it happened. You wait to get a job until you get a master's degree. That's on you, and that doesn't seem like that much more money than that. But again, 70K salary in New York. How long are you gonna stay with parents till you're 35 so you can save enough for a down payment? And also this dumb crap here. Used to be a live fast, die hard person. Maybe I still am. The stability of this new job irks me. All right, man. Anyway, let's see. This one I would start investing ASAP, of course. Not Ramsey advice. That way you get acclimated to your new budget, and it'll feel like your normal pay. No, you need to pay off the debt first. As for moving out, I wouldn't rush. Adulthood is brutal, and you have opportunities to save a lot more. IMO, in your opinion. Well, obviously, it's your opinion. This person says pay off the credit card ASAP, fully fund your retirement, save so you can pay cash for travel and your own place. Also, keep telling yourself that a car is a depreciating asset. Mods to a car don't up the value. I don't know if the person mentioned the vehicle, just that, I think was thinking about another vehicle, like a more hot roddy type of vehicle. And again, trying to do everything all at the same time. This is a lot. This is a book. This is a book right here. I'm not gonna even, well, let's look at the first paragraph. If I read everything correctly, you only have $200 to $400 expenses each month. Right, living with mommy and daddy. If rent, utilities, car insurance, car paid off, some groceries is a gift your parents are giving you. Don't squander their generosity. Okay, so again, trying to get him to stay there as long as possible until he's 35 or 40 or 50, something like that. Let's see, you have until April 15th, 2026 to fully fund your Roth IRA, which you don't do until you pay off all your debt, if you're following the Ramsey advice, of course. So far here, we don't have any Ramsey advice so far in all the comments. I'm assuming I didn't see any, didn't notice any on the on this long one here. Didn't notice any Ramsey advice. Travel, please. It made me extremely happy to see the world and have new experiences. Yeah, and not for this person to has too many other goals that he wants to do. At least don't do it now. You can do some later once you get your financial house in order, or even if you have your own house that's not mommy and daddy's. Pay off the credit card ASAP as much as you can afford. You're paying interest, a lot of it, to wait on the credit card payoff. Right. Also start paying for your own expenses, all of them now, car insurance, etc. Yeah, because that way you'll get a better idea of what things cost. And it's still not going to be, you're so coddled, you have no idea what it's like to live on your own and have to pay for everything. That's just crazy. So this one is the closest. This one's close to Ramsey advice. So there's one, too little even to read personal finance subreddits. You're at high risk of scammers scamming you. Yeah, that's true as well. Start by taking an online personal finance class and at least understand the convenience, wisdom, even if you end up disagreeing with it. Personal finance test. BYU, Brigham Young University, I think. .edu. That's decent advice, better than the other ones, but not Ramsey specific, so still only one. Here's one. Start listening to the podcast, and after a while, you'll know Dave's answers before he says them. Right. Right. Yeah. So I'll count that one. So that's 2. Right now, you're not making that much money, especially for New York City, right? Stay with your parents as long as you can, not the Ramsey advice. Maybe someday you'll get a significant other where you can afford a place for 2 incomes. Yes, invest. Okay, so no, and this one was deleted by whoever put it there. So that's like 1.5, wasn't it? Or 2? 2.5 out of the 11 comments on there were Ramsey advice. And so that's just fun to look at for that. And that's the way it goes. We don't need that. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, and now I gotta find where we left off. Is this where we left off? I did that one. I think debit card to pay from checking account and online shopping. I would. There's no need to give a checking account number to any company, other than maybe your utilities, stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily like have them do a direct debit from your checking account on Amazon, for example. We talked about TSP transfer. Yeah, I think I did all these. Credit card or savings. Okay. Update, paid $3K toward it and leaving the rest of the cash. You shouldn't be doing that. It should be $1,000 and all the rest goes to debt. You're doing it wrong. Not even going to read the rest of it. Don't care about it. Some kind of electric 300 car. Oh, electric 300 electric. That's a high electric bill. Divorced mom with 3 kids, own my house. The owning a house is good, but you should only have $1,000, even if you have kids, even if you are divorced. It doesn't, see, that's the beauty of the Ramsey advice and the baby steps. It's the same for everybody. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what kind of pedigree you have, if you come from a richie family or a poor family. None of that matters. It's all the same for everybody, and people automatically don't like that because everybody wants to be special. Advice on working the baby steps with fiance, and of course we know that is not what you do. You work them independently until you are pronounced man and wife, and then after that you might want to take the honeymoon first, but then after that you can that's when you would combine finances and do it together. And this even says my finance and I financee. Yeah, dumb. So it means fiance again here. Probably. We're getting married in 6 months. We just moved in together. Not advised by Mr. Ramsey. And are working on the baby steps. Too much can go wrong. I don't care if it's your fiance and you're supposed to get married in 6 months. 6 months is an eternity. Anything could happen. How many fiancés did not equal marriage within a 6-month time period? How many? A lot, I bet. Are working the baby steps together. You shouldn't be doing that. You're doing it wrong. I have a student loan which is in deferment till spring. It's going to be smallest to largest regardless, but you're doing it wrong by doing it together. Is it better me to work to pay down my student loan, throw more money to emergency fund, or help her pay off the debt she owes? You're doing it all wrong. So, I mean, you can just keep doing it whatever way you're doing it. There's not a thing where I would advise anything. Well, okay, so you did already move in together, and you're already combining finances, so here's how you do the finances together thing. I wouldn't do that. I'd say you shouldn't be doing it together. You should be doing it completely separate. And so if they moved in together, fine, but all of it should be separate. You should do your baby steps and she does hers until you're married, and after that it becomes our baby steps at that point. Confused. Dependent Buddy 2295. I have 3 loans that equal $19.50 monthly in payment. The Amex has a high interest rate, and so the other 2, that doesn't matter as far as how you pay them off. And considering a home equity loan, no. For the purpose of debt consolidation, no. Additionally, the monthly mortgage is $3,300. Insurance tax expense. Any advice would be appreciated. How about you stop thinking and follow the baby steps, which say you should only have $1,000 in your starter emergency fund, and then you pay off all debt using debt snowball. And debt snowball means smallest amount to largest amount, not of interest, but of amount you owe. How about we do that? Why would you be confused? Because you want to do something else is the answer here. So stop doing it wrong. And you don't get loans to pay off loans. That doesn't help you. You think that helps you. You know, it might save you a little bit on interest, but that is not the advice. The problem is because a lot of people that do this crap take out the home equity loan for that. Now it's at a lower interest rate, and then you don't worry about it as much, and then you don't try as hard to pay it off very fast. See, there's a reason the Ramsey advice is what the Ramsey advice is, and that's because it works. 30 years of experience, 20 million cases of documented success stories from Mr. Ramsey. No other financial advisor comes close to that. Nick Dilly, feeling stuck in a mortgage. Well, no, you can always sell the house, move down in house. See what's up with that. So I'm not sure where to go. What would Dave do? So I'm not sure where to go with this, but I need some Dave-ish advice. No, we don't do Dave-ish. This is going to be the Dave advice. Certainly somebody that commented, 33 comments, certainly there's probably half of them are Dave-ish advice. At least half of them. 25-year-old single fella making approximately $4,000 a month net. No debt aside from a mortgage. Bought the house in February this year, and it was in the price range that I felt comfortable in on one income. Great. Did about $8,000 in renovations, and I'm regretting it. Just the house or doing the $8,000 in renovations? The neighborhood, for lack of a better term, sucks. It's a noisy neighborhood filled with neighbors that are leaving their houses in disrepair, and my house still isn't great after all I've done. Why'd you buy it then? It could have been a mistake. Still able to live comfortably, but my savings rate isn't at all what I wanted it to be. Okay, well, you know what it was going to cost when you moved in. This was your dumbass fault. So any money that you lost doing this dumbass stuff is called stupid tax. Do I ride it out a few years to get some equity out of it? You can try that. Or do I sell it? You can do that as well. Deal with the fact that I might lose $3,000 to $5,000 and call it a stupid tax. Exactly what you said. So, and you feeling stuck, you're not. And if you think it's a bad idea, you shouldn't do what people characterize as throwing good money after bad. So, especially if it's going to cost you more money. Like I said, you know, and especially if you did some dumbass crap like get a 30-year mortgage so you could afford the payments or so you would have wiggle room, then you bought too much house anyway. And so the advice would be to sell it. Inevitable Rough. Reborn C. Nick. That's supposed to be chick, or I don't know what scenic is. Baby steps are a good process for getting financially healthy. Love Dave and his message. Me too, Reborn Scenic. Thanks for dropping by. Finally got my disability back pay. Completed step 0. There's a lot of components to step 0. Let's see, you got bills paid up. That would be getting current. Also would be, what else is in there? Oh, step 0 is where you decide you're not going to do any dumbass debt anymore and you're going to pay off the dumbass debt you already have. Let's see, bought a new washer and dryer because ours were dying. Could have looked into repairing those first. Got each of us what we needed as far as clothes go. Clothes are a fourth wall, part of the four walls. But as you can see, they are the least important and maybe shouldn't even be in there, I'm thinking. But that's what housing, food, transportation. So probably in that order. Housing, yeah, food, transportation, and then clothing. So yeah, most people have enough clothes where they'll be fine, even if they have, one shirt a week that they say, okay, well, this has holes in it, it's too much. But yeah, but early baby steps is not a time where you're trying to be fashionable and buy some new type of clothes. Anyway, bought our burial plots, and have paid off loan and credit card. I can't remember. I don't think Mr. Ramsey advises the prepaying for burial plots. No, come to think of it, I think he did say it's fine to prepay it, but like not where you pick out the specific things on it. I don't know for sure on that. And that's, regardless. Anyway, they did it already. And have paid off a loan and credit card. Great. That's great. Now, if you've done that, you're on baby step 2. Oh, disability back pay. Okay, I see. Yeah, so you did it wrong. You should keep the first $1,000 after step 0. Then you do step 1, that's $1,000. And you don't go ahead to step 2 and pay off a loan and a credit card. The first $1,000 of that is available after you complete the step 0 stuff. Getting insurances in place is another one in step 0. There's a ton of stuff on there. Google it if you're interested. I'll do that at some point. Maybe do a separate video on that because not a lot of people know about that. But yeah, you should have kept the $1,000 and maybe not paid off both of these. Maybe just paid off one of them, because either way you would still seem to be in step 2, but you would also have the $1,000 emergency fund. So you don't do, contrary to popular belief, you don't do all of the baby steps all at the same time. As a matter of fact, you do steps 1, 2, and 3 in order, one at a time, without moving to a higher step. Don't even think about higher step. Concentrate on the step that you're on until you get to step 4. Once you're on step 4, 3B is not on here, but that's where you would save a down payment, and that happens only after step 3 is done. You don't save for a down payment while you still have any non-mortgage debt, and while you don't have your full emergency fund yet. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Security possible. Make a lot of money. What time did I start there? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Do an hour. Okay, so we got about 25 more minutes to go. Make a lot of money, but very unhappy. That's not good. Maybe the wrong community for this post. No, it's fine. It involves money. Only a business, and it started doing well enough that my husband quit his job to help me. We now have a 7-month-old son, and we would like a few more kids, although I'm running out of time. 35 years old. Yep, getting AMA up there. That's advanced maternal age is what that stands for. The business takes up all of my time. I easily work 12-hour days, some days even more if I'm not working on the weekend. I'm worrying about it. I get 4 to 5 hours of sleep at night, sometimes less. My husband gets to stay home with my son, which I'm grateful that he's not in childcare, but I'm envious. Okay, well, that's an emotional problem. And as an adult, you ought to be able to handle emotional problems. If you can't, then you might need to see a counselor about that. The problem is that we make a lot of money, equivalent $800K salary. That's a lot. But this is going on 5 years now, and I'm at my wit's end. If you worked less, could you make, say, $500K, and can you live on that? Or is that just what the business makes, and what you actually bring home from that is less than that? So all that would be considered here. But yeah, why? Make sure you get 8 hours of sleep. So work 4 hours or so less per day. And if that means less money, then you make less money. And if you can live on that, do that. Do I just suck it up and ride it out until the mortgage is paid off? Approximately 3 more years. What I would do is I would I would maybe work, 40, 45 hours, something like that. If you can live on that and also make progress on the baby steps, at least a little. Maybe your husband could do some kind of part-time thing while also staying home with the son. Or do opposite shifts, that kind of thing. Husband can work at night, something like that. There's tons of things you can do. You just have to get past your thing where, because people lock themselves into one thing or the other, and it's 100% either way. So like, this has got to be, okay, well, I have to work this many hours, or I have to stop doing this business at all. See, that's not realistic. You do not have to do that. People are nutty like that. Anyway, it feels impossible to have another kid during that time. Do I give it up and let my husband go back to work? He earns good salary himself, around $200K. Yeah, you could, but then you'd have to pay childcare. So, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all. But again, you could work less. So, if you don't put in all of those hours, does that take you down to like 200K instead of the 800K? Because of the nature of your business? I understand that is possible, where you have to work that, what would be a lot of hours? 80 hours a week, and you have to work that 80th hour to get it from, whatever, 300K to 800K. That's the whole difference in it, that last hour. See, that's what it is. And so that's what, it just depends on the nature of the business as to how that might work. Wasn't baby step 7, but we just upgraded our house. So back to step 6, no debt. And no debt puts you in a great, no non-mortgage debt, puts you in a great position to be able to make decisions like this, where you don't need to make $800,000 probably. Again, I don't know where you live, don't know what your expenses are. You didn't say what those are, so that's what I would talk to this client about. Twere she my client. Also, if you have one baby, you don't need to upgrade your house. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to upgrade your house. People are nutty about that stuff. And yeah, I know you're planning on having more children. How about we wait until there's other children involved? Because guess what? Always in motion is the future, says Yoda. We do not know what's going to happen. So you could want to have a lot more children, but you might not have any. So how about we just wait for that instead of trying to spend all the money to upgrade house ahead of time? That's dumb as crap. Edited to say, I do have help. We have approximately 9 employees, but maybe I need more of a general manager role as well. Yeah, you can do that. I wasn't thinking about that. I thought it was just a solopreneur thing where she worked all by herself. But yeah, I mean, if a general manager would help, and it doesn't take out more than you just cutting your hours down. But yeah, I mean, I guess if she's trying to, if they are open more than 8-9 hours a day, like, and they have, they're like a restaurant, they have morning till late night, then yeah, a general manager would be good, probably. The scaling part is what I'm not good at. Even managing the employees we have is exhausting. Okay. Yeah, sounds like a manager would be a good idea. And how much authority, etc., you want to give that manager. That's going to be up to you. Without knowing like I said, without knowing the specifics of the business, I don't know exactly what to tell you about that. But probably I would just try to make sure you stop working 4 hours a day so you can sleep longer. I would start with that and see how much of the $800K that it takes out of your salary. So I think you can definitely make it work, but it may have to, you didn't know how to do this business immediately when you started, I'm assuming. So you had to learn a lot of stuff, and this is just more things that you need to learn, and about the scaling, about how many people you need to hire. How many people is reasonable? And if a manager is reasonable, and it sounds like it does, you're making $200K shy of $1 million a year. And that's just your salary. That is not, if you've said it correctly here. I think because she said the salary there and we make a lot of money, I think I immediately assumed she was doing it all herself. But since she's not, probably doing it wrong and probably trying to micromanage every little thing about it, even though she can't and has other employees. That would be all the kind of stuff that I would talk about with this person. Twere she my client. Harinthika, I believe I've seen that name before. Best quote, your money problems aren't the problem, they're the symptom of the problem. No? True. After living life as an emotional and impulse spender, this quote hit me hard. My problem isn't the finances, it's my mental health that's put me in the boat I'm in. Yep, because people do like emotional spending, etc., making bad decisions while feeling emotional. Sure. Filling the void with shopping. Yep. Letting myself live paycheck to paycheck by spending every bit of money. Yep, I have. To fix the problem, I need to look in the mirror. That is where all the problem. That is the problem. You have to look in the mirror to see the problem, for sure. Recognize where these impulses and emotions come from and address them. Then, with new gazelle intensity, I can tackle my finances and be able to live with newfound happiness. That is true. Figured it out. Now all you got to do is do it. Toe recovery says, pay off first, advise. Alrighty. See, people are nutty, or they can't spell, or maybe English not their first language, but plenty of people whose first language is English are dumbasses and put advise instead of advice. Vice has a C in it, not an S. Advise is the verb, like I'm advising people right now when I'm answering these questions. Advice is the noun. I'm giving the advice. See, got it right there. got it right there. So why didn't you get it right there? People are nutty. I am in the process of... The C isn't near the S, is it? Yeah, kind of. In the process of paying off debt and need some advice. Okay, currently cash loan, and it's going to be smallest to largest. Stop being dumb, people. I mean, you know the Ramsey advice. You probably heard of the baby steps and the debt snowball. You didn't hear about the debt snowball part of baby step 2, paying off all debt? All non-mortgage debt? You didn't know that part where it's smallest to largest, but people don't want to do it. People don't just want to follow the advice. They want to still do what they want to do. They want to try to, oh, maybe I can figure out how to improve these baby steps. You can't. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Cash loan, $4,900 at 35.98% interest. You are a dumbass. I mean, I did debt before, sure. When I was a dumbass too. I did debt, but I didn't do almost 36% interest. You're an idiot. 287 p.m. payment. I don't know what that is. Credit card, $5,300 at 27%. Yeah, okay. Anyway, not reading this stuff. What's the problem? The car loan is for a 2019 Ford Explorer. Short version, I repossessed the car for my ex-girlfriend and I don't need the car. I repossessed the car for my ex-girlfriend and I don't need the car. Repossessed. Does that mean you got it back from the repossessors? When they repoed the car and you got it back, or is it currently repoed? Best case scenario, can probably get $20,000 for the car. Yeah, apparently bought it, paid it off from them. Yeah, and that's probably high. Yeah. Then don't say can probably get $20,000 for it. And then say, then that's probably high. This is how nutty people are. Okay, why would you say can probably get 20,000 and then say, and that's probably high? So now why don't we simmer down on that and say 18K or something like that? Something that's not probably high. People are so dumb. Some about 9,000 plus underwater, plus insurance, etc. I'm guessing my own option at this point is that I'm just going to be out 9,000. Yeah. And that is stupid tax because you were a dumbass by doing that. So my question is, do I focus on paying the car off as quickly as possible? No, you pay off your debt smallest to largest. You can sell this. So here's what you do. Doesn't say if there's a loan on it. Doesn't say if there's a loan on it. Okay, but regardless, so you sell the car. So if you already paid for it, you would sell the car and you'd just be out 9,000. And so all your work is done for you at that point, except you lost 9,000 in the equity on that car because you were a dumbass, and that's your stupid tax for that. And so then you apply any money that you get for that car to the lowest debt. But if it's a deal where by you saying you repossessed it, meaning you signed up for a new loan on it, you have to come up with that money. And so, but for example, like that, if the loan on it is 20,000 and you're 9,000 underwater, Mr. Ramsey is fine with you borrowing $9,000 from a bank or a credit union or something like that, so that you can sell the car. So because you're getting out of you're lowering your debt by $11,000 by doing that, and also freeing up the car payment amount. So that's not the option. Yeah, that would be the option. Yeah, there's no way to recover that underwater amount unless you can get somebody to pay that for you. So, and it's probably very difficult to get somebody to pay $9,000 too much for a car. So my question is, do I fake it? No, you don't pay off the car. No, it's still smallest to largest. People are so dumb. Reborn Scenic. What's the Scenic about? Reborn Scenic. Is that supposed to be like cynic? I shouldn't have given you that answer because that would actually be a thing. Emek Turk. Pause baby step 3, started baby step 4 for tax reasons, and that's a no. That's not in the Ramsey advice to do that. So, again, if you're going to be a dumbass and do something like this, what is it that you want? People to agree with you for doing it? Because you know darn well it's not the Ramsey advice? Don't get it. Posting in case someone here has experienced this too. Yeah. Due to high self-employment taxes, sole proprietorship, I found myself saving up thousands of dollars in an emergency fund, baby step 3, just to owe it all to the IRS at tax time. That's not how you do that. How you do that is you keep some of the money and you save it for taxes. And if you're having a hard time doing that, you can send quarterly payments, quarterly estimates, and you can send that amount in advance if you like to spend money that is laying around there. So yeah, you would do that, and it's not like it's coming from nowhere. You earn the money in your self-employment business. Guess what? You owe taxes on that. Quit being a dumbass. People are so dumb. To owe it to the IRS at tax time. Yep, and that's fine. You should be saving it up for that. You should be saving the money for the tax so you can pay it off as soon as in April, I guess. You can give yourself till April to do that. I rightfully paid the IRS from my emergency fund instead of going into IRS debt, but that meant I kept starting all over on baby step 3. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're a dumbass. See, people, I don't know, people are just so illogical. I can't relate to them. Okay, so you paid the IRS from your emergency fund instead of going to IRS debt, but that meant I kept starting all over. One time is not keeping starting keep starting all over. It was one time. You're dumb. After several years of the cycle, my tax advisor, oh, that's what he means, because he's done it more. So, okay, so here's what we do. The first time this bull crap happens, then you say, oh, I better put aside more money for that. And then all of a sudden, because you decide to start the Ramsey advice and start the baby steps, that doesn't mean that you won't owe the IRS that year. So you're so dumb. Anyway, tax advisor recommended I max out my retirement contributions to lower my taxable income. No, we don't play tax games on the baby steps. No, no, and no. You just stop spending money on crap you're spending money on that's not 100% necessary. Which came out to 15% of my gross income, or basically baby step 4. That is not baby step 4. That's investing. This is paying taxes. It's two different things. Again, being so stupid. Is there another option to get back on the right order of baby steps? Yes, for you to stop being a dumbass and save the money for your taxes in addition to doing the baby steps as best as you can. Taxes would be first before paying extra on debt. So, and the way to do that is probably, I'm going to go ahead and guess, I got a great idea too. I know you're self-employed. How about if you do a little thing called get a part-time job too and work for somebody else and bring in some more money? More income, less spending is the advice for everybody on the lower baby steps. And also to stop being a stupid dumbass. My goodness, people. I understand people, not being good with money or anything like that, but just this person can't reason anything. Has no reason or logic at all. Whiskey and wisdom, spoiled or brainwashed. Okay, maybe this will be a more relatable one. Probably can't though. Just because I'm not doing it wrong like they all are, but we'll see. Wife and I are late 40s. I'm older. I make 115K. 3 years ago was at 75K. That's great. She makes about 50K camper truck total, car total about 55K debit. Debit is wrong. It is debt. D-E-B-T. And how about we sell the camper truck and car then? Or at least the camper is not required. And if you have 2 vehicles in addition to her having one, then you sell that extra car as well. Don't need it. Mortgage is $12 a month, worth $360, 150K, $350K in combined retirement. I don't feel stressed. You should, with $55K in debt. We pay everything on time, but we could be saving a ton. Right, but instead, you're enjoying life and keeping that debt around. Nothing crazy. We go out to eat, have fun, etc. And you're doing that too early because you have step 2 debt. You need to be gazelle intense about getting rid of that and then saving up your full emergency fund. If you already have a full emergency fund, that goes down to $1,000 and you send all that money to your dumbass debt. Enjoying life, nothing crazy, Gotti. I had always thought that this / financing nice vehicles and having a nice house was the goal, as long as you could comfortably make payments. Yeah. Oh, now that I'm getting older, I haven't really thought much about retirement. It's because you're a dumbass. Yeah. I grew up not needing anything but wanting a lot, so we didn't have vacation and new stuff, but we all had the best. Okay, what is the thing? Spoiled? You're spoiled. And brainwashed? Debt is, they spend billions of dollars marketing debt to you every single year. So maybe partially both. Let's see, I grew up not needing anything but wanting lots. Okay, well, that would be spoiled. That would be greedy. We didn't have vacations or new stuff. Those are not, it's not required to have new stuff or vacations. You will live without those. And you can live and be happy without those as well. But as I had the best of the bare minimum after listening to the show, I realized I made a mistake. You think? Now I've got almost 50 years of thinking a certain way to change. Yeah. And so the time to do that, if you've decided it's the wrong thing, then you just let the wrong thing go and start doing it correctly. I want a new truck but don't need one. Correct. A lot of people say need when it's a want, and those people are, of course, dumbasses. I've got an obsessive ADHD thing to where once I get something in my head, I'm like a coon dog tracking a squirrel. I've wasted lots of money over the years, hobby hopping. I only mentioned that in case someone else has had success in quelling these stupid impulses. Someone talk sense into me, please, before I go an additional 40K in debt. This says baby step 2, right? Guess what? You're not buying anything. You're not doing any hobby stuff. You're not doing any of it. You're not buying anything that's not 100% necessary. You're not understanding what baby step 2 is all about. Baby step 2 is paying off all debt. It doesn't say to do any of this other crap that you're thinking about doing. And yeah, you don't need a new truck. You already have a truck. What's wrong with the truck you have? So, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of brainwash, but most of it, you're being a spoiled, dumbass brat. That's basically it. And you know you are. Can I ever go to school? Yes. You have to get grants and scholarships if you don't have the money to pay for it. The amazing Viv here. I, 19 female, made a lot of unwise decisions last year as I was preparing to graduate. I was uninformed of the damage that debt could do. Yeah, they don't do. Hey, imagine that when Amex or Visa or whoever it is that's marketing debt to you, they don't say, "Oh, you got to be very responsible with this, though, and it could ruin your life." You know, they don't add that in advertising for it. And of course, all my parents told me was that I would always have a car payment and that I would always be in debt. They were wrong. I mean, maybe it's good. Somehow, I mean, it took me a while, like long after I moved out and on my own. But maybe that came back a little bit with wanting to prove them wrong, which I did. So, you know, like kind of rebelling against them, I guess. But I should have rebelled a lot sooner to that. But yeah, I didn't know any better. I didn't know. I was 16 and got a job. And my dad got tired of taking me to work, I guess, and co-signed for a car for me. And so I did pay it off over time, of course. So there was no real problem with that. But then occasionally I would still use debt for stuff, and none of this crazy high interest crap. But again, I did pay it all off. And eventually got completely debt free. The decision to do all that took way, way longer than it should have, but there you go. So, so I understand that a 19-year-old, of course, I'm right there with you. I was probably dumber than you are. So I went to school taking out student loans. Yeah, I did that as well. But paid that off as well. Along with the student loan debt, I dug myself even deeper by financing a car. Yeah, running a consumer debt. Yeah, see, that's where you start going crazy. And getting payday loans. See, I didn't do anything that stupid because I knew how much the interest was. See, and that, you know, that amount of interest turned me off, of course, and that's why debt itself should have turned me off. But I apparently was fine with it because I was a dumbass. These past few months have been very hard, and I dropped out of school when I realized I just couldn't afford it. Well, you don't have to drop out. You can just stop going while you work and save up more money or get scholarships or grants or something like that. You don't have to drop out. See, people all overreact to stuff. They always think it's all or nothing on everything, and it's not. You don't have to live your life that way. I'm now working on attacking my debt, but I'm not coming fresh out of high school anymore and dropped out of my previous university on top of the face that it feels like an expensive and unattainable goal that wouldn't fit in the baby steps as they're written. You have to, like if you decide to go to school, basically what you're doing is you're cash flowing school more than paying off extra on debt. Because it does no good to pay off the debt and then have to take out another loan for school. So that does no good. So you would prioritize cash flowing the school, and that is the Ramsey advice on that. At least not for a while. Am I losing out on higher potential earnings by not getting a degree? Everybody that gets a degree doesn't make higher earnings, so you're not guaranteed that. That's again the lie of the student loan. Everybody justifies it because they say, oh, well, then I have a degree and then I'll make a lot of money. How many calls does Ramsey get on a daily basis about people that, one, here's all the stuff that can go wrong on there, but nobody ever thinks about it when they sign for the student loans. You could not graduate. It happens. I think it's like, what, 50% dropout rate or failing rate? Something like that, I think. Maybe lower than that, I don't know. But certainly there's some, right, that do not graduate. And so you still got to pay out the student loan. Second, you might decide you don't like your field. Oh, but before that, I guess and then second, you got to get a high-paying job in that field. That would be second. And then third would be even if you do manage to get a high-paying job in your field, you might like it and be miserable. Might not like it and be miserable. Another thing for the young ladies that are signing up willingly, happily for student loans, what if you meet your husband in school and then you have a baby and want to stay home with the baby? How's the student loan getting paid for? Stop being dumb. You got to think about this stuff. And of course, 19 years old, I wasn't thinking about this stuff either, so I really can't throw stones on it. But that's, towards this problem, but or these people or the people that do that. I get it. They don't, they have no problem doing that. And most adults involved in a high school or college, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you take out the student loans." Oh yeah. No, you have to take out student loans for that. Yeah, if you don't have the cash for it, yeah, you do that. And so, I get it. But once you realize that it's a problem, then that's when you have to work on it. That's when you have to change the way you're doing it. I'm asking him to change his way. By not getting a degree, I don't know. Nobody knows what will happen if you go to school. Again, any one of those, 4 or 5 things, different things could happen. Where it wouldn't be the straightforward path and the path that is sold to everybody getting student loans and think, I will get the degree, I will love my field, I'll get immediately after school, it won't take any time either, I'll immediately get a high-paying job in my field for my degree of study, and then also, if I'm female, I won't have a baby and want to stay home with the baby instead of working to pay off this student loan. So, did I make a bad choice in the first place, dropping out? Yep. You probably, did you sever complete ties with that university? You should do stuff at community college regardless first, because that's cheaper. So maybe you go there anyway, but, and if you have previous, did you go just one semester? Was that just one semester? Do you have any, actual grades from there that you have completed that can, transfer to another university? But yeah, just dropping out like that probably wouldn't be the advice either. And if I can work this in later on, when you can cash flow it, when you can afford it, even if it means you're not paying your debt off that fast. I don't want to put my future career on the back burner. Again, what future career? You're not promised that just because you go to try to get a degree. Or even if you get the degree, you're not promised that. But I understand I may have to... Oh, I may have to. Yeah, that's the whole thing. All right, already opened it. Yeah. So again, you need to get that out of your head. You still have that in the back of your head that degree equals happy life equals a lot of money. Not for everybody. It doesn't. It's a nightmare for some people. Purpler. That means more purple, I guess. Or like the Riddler or the Rizzler. 1738. How much do I need to worry about retirement? None. None. You don't need worry. Guess how much? Guess how much money in the stock market that worrying about it is gonna increase your gains? Donut. None. So you don't need to worry about it. You just need to take care of it. I currently work with, oh, you mean him, he probably means him specifically or her specifically, with their particular set of skills. No, their particular situation. Okay, so let's see. Work for local government, will receive a pension when I retire. Pensions, most of them do not make anywhere near what the market makes, so they count as 15%. I mean, they count as half towards the 15%. So say if you're contributing 15% to that pension, that counts as 7.5%, and you need to be investing another 7.5% of your income to a like Roth IRA, for example, where you can make the most you can from the market. And so what that ends up meaning, you get penalized for participating in that pension. But a lot of times, like if you're a teacher, you have to. In government, you may be able to opt out of the pension, because in this case 15 would be going to the pension, but since it only counts as 7.5, that means actually 22.5% would be of gross income would be going to investing for retirement at all. And so you might not be able to afford that. Might not be able to do that. You might not make enough money to handle that and pay your expenses, and also move further on the baby steps too. Pensions based on my earnings and years of service, not on my individual contributions to the system. I can contribute the required percent based on my salary. I think it's 5%. Okay, that counts as 2.5%. So guess what you got to do, my friend? That's right. We can do the math, right? What is the math? It's 12.5. Oh, thank you very much for that. Yeah, 12.5%. So it's only going to be 17.5% that you have of gross salary that you end up contributing for investment, for retirement. And do not contribute extra, because there really doesn't seem to be a benefit to doing that. Darn right it's not. I'm currently 30 years old. You still got 30 years in the market. No need to worry about anything. And I've worked here since I was 22 and plan to stay. You only worried about it at 8? You only got concerned about it at 8 years in? 22. I was there myself, so... let's see, until I retire. I can't say anything. I had nothing in retirement at age 30, so I can't say anything. Because I was a dumbass too, yes. That is going to be the name of my book. I was a dumbass too. And plan to stay here. I'm not writing a book. Until I retire, most likely at 63, okay? Being that, well, see, you can't plan out your life like that. Anyway, being that I will likely have 40 years of service, I will receive a sizable pension. Do I need to be investing elsewhere? Yes, you need to do 12.5% elsewhere. Roth IRA would be a good start. To save for retirement, yes. Edited, add more info. Married, 30, female, living on Long Island. Interesting. I guess you would say on Long Island, because it's an island and you would live on an island rather than it being a city name, which it also is, where you would say I'm living in Columbus and not on Columbus. Scenic did not say what scenic means. currently make boom ba down bum boom ba down 81K guaranteed raises through 2030. Great. Also, though, government downsizes sometimes. So, see, you're not guaranteed all of that. So you can't just willy-nilly plan your entire life and expect that's how it's going to go. Things change throughout your life, including your goals and such. Through 2030, which will bring my, okay, so we don't spend the 114K from 2030 until it's freaking 2030. You don't even count on it happening until you get the first check that reflects that change there. Plus continuous cost of living raises. Okay, great. We'll make more. That doesn't change the 15% that you need to be putting in there, and so the 12.5% that you need to be investing in addition to the 5% that you think it is. So whatever it is, you cut that in half, and that's how much it counts towards the 15% that Mr. Ramsey recommends for retirement in step 4. Will make more if I get promoted. I currently rent but plan to buy a house after paying down current debt. No, you're paying off current debt. You do not buy a house while you have debt. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, so didn't happen to mention the debt before now. No, that says, that says baby step 4. Hey, guess what? You're in debt. Non-mortgage debt, right? That's step 2. Investing is step 4, so that's a no for you. You do not do that. No. So you would opt out of the 5 or whatever percent, and you would put all that money towards debt instead of retiring. And yes, you have to worry about retiring, so pay off your freaking debt faster. Use my current salary, 81K. If I retire at age 60, my estimated pension benefit is $5,400 monthly, but will obviously be more based on my upcoming salary increases if you get them. Yeah, so that is why you must invest on your own as well. Pension is from New York State Retirement. Yeah. But that's why you must work on you. I mean, you must be investing on your own as well, because the pension is not guaranteed to be enough. And you don't know for sure 100% what it will be and what will happen in the future. And also, the most important thing as far as Dave Ramsey is concerned is that you're doing it wrong, investing while you still have debt, and also thinking about trying to buy a house while you still have a debt. That's a no. And I forgot to point out that again. So how this works is you're paying off debt, right? You don't do crap with money until you are done with step 2 and paid off all your non-mortgage debt. And then you save your full emergency fund. Since you want to buy a house, I recommend the 6 months. So do the 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund. And then step 3B, which it doesn't say right here, but that's when you save a down payment. And if you need to save a larger down payment more quickly, or if you you want to even, you can not invest at all for up to 3 years. I thought it was 2 for a long time, but Dave said 3 the other day. Once again after that, so I'm believing that it is 3%. So he's fine with you staying out of the market for 3 years to save up that larger down payment faster. And only then after that, I mean, the balance between 3B, the ratio, and step 4, investing, that's up to you. So you can do you can go back to your 5% in your pension and then put everything else into the down payment fund, or you can stop it completely. It's completely up to you. The less investing you do, the faster you'll be in a home, the more down payment you'll have for that. So, but again, what are people trying to do? You're trying to do everything all at the same time, Steve. You're right. You are so smart. They are trying to do everything all at the same time. Which is, you're doing it wrong. And let's give them a quick, that's not the one we wanted. Whoops. That's my questions that I got from for when we run out. Eventually we'll run out probably on this. Why is that not popping up? There it goes. This is what we wanted to do. Let's have a George today. How about this? This is what I think everybody, all the questions that I read today, guess what they were all doing?
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
They were doing it wrong. That's right. Can't believe he said that. That's awesome. George also said something I say the other day. I've never heard him say it before, but it's something I always say at the same time, and I can't remember what it is. Oh gosh, it's not the dumbass thing. I can't remember it. I don't think George watches me, but it was just a fun coincidence. Alrighty, Ramsey Show Aftershow. And tomorrow will not be one of those because I'm busy in the morning and early afternoon. So we'll do what is that called? An 8 p.m. Answering your financial questions stream tomorrow. That's Friday, the 26th of September. And then Saturday and Sunday will be Saturday and or Sunday. At least one of them will be an 8 p.m. stream, and there might be two. Might do both Saturday and Sunday days, but at least one of those 2 days I will do one. So we got one definitely Friday, and then a Saturday and or Sunday. As far as after shows and answering your financial questions for the next week, starting Monday, the whatever that is. 26th is Friday. 27th Saturday. 29th. Yeah, the 20 started the Monday the 29th starting then. I don't know that yet. And don't have my schedule for then yet. Yeah, late schedules always. And so do not know about that when that'll be. But again, tomorrow, Friday, there will be no after show because I'm busy, but there will be an 8 p.m. answering your financial questions stream, and that would be Friday, September 26th, like it says there. Plus Saturday and or Sunday, September 27th and 28th. And TBA on that, maybe I'll have that tomorrow night, that information as far as next week. It's short for Scenics name, I guess. All right. Cool. Alrighty. So that's going to do it. Signing off. This is Coach Steve Money. Again, I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you would like to schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me, you can email coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can also use that email address for any financial questions, anything about financial coaching, or anything about anything on my channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. It wasn't taken. Imagine that. Walmart gift card to the same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And again, the upcoming streams tomorrow, Friday, September 26th, is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Saturday and or Sunday will be 8 p.m. streams as well. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart, not dumbass, decisions every day.